You just need to send me that drop so I can play it on my end so it doesn't get eaten up by the music.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. There was a girl talking in Irish.
Are they still doing that show?
Yeah.
Really? Because I had heard, and I thought justifiably so, that this thing was long gone. I mean, I liked it for a minute. You've heard the expression hot minute? It was more of a lukewarm minute.
Tepid.
C'est le Lounge Show avec Rob Scott et Bob Doyle, deux diffuseurs vétérans qui aiment s'entendre parler et qui réussissent, d'une manière ou d'une autre, à se supporter. Voyons si vous pouvez les supporter aussi bien. Voici Rob et Bob.
Thank you, Tracy. I'm Bob.
And I'm Robin. We haven't done a lounge in quite some time.
Yeah, you're right, because we had the technical problem before that, didn't we? We couldn't do it, and right. we thought we were going to have that again. And then last week, you were sick.
So effing sick. I'm still getting over this. Whatever viral concoction that was floating about, and I got to consume. Yucko-rama, boys and girls. You don't want to do this, I'll tell you.
What was the nature of this discomfort?
I hate to use the phrase, Bob, but I would say flu-like symptoms. I was suffering from flu-like symptoms. Body aches, headaches, low-grade fever, the whole head that feels like 20,000 pounds. And I came home last Thursday, so what is that, 9 days? Came home last Thursday from work. 9 days. And I was sitting on a couch with a remote in my hand, like all good red-blooded American men should do. and I coughed, and it was one of those, like a seal, like you sound like a seal. And it's this dry, and I hadn't had a cough like that since I had asthma as a kid.
Wow, okay.
And so then I just said, oh, crap. This is not good. And I woke up Friday, and did not work. Friday, I slept like 4 or 5 hours in the middle of the day, and then at 9 at night I was still tired. It was one of those kind of colds.
Yeah.
So
that's what you wanted when you were in school, like legit. No, Mom, seriously.
Yeah, you don't have to put the thermometer on the light bulb for that.
That's right.
One.
It's this pure chicken soup. We've got Tracy in the house. I don't know exactly.
Yes, look at that.
I think that. So what we've got going on over here this weekend is a Galentine's Day party that Amber's having. So that means her friends have all
just. That on a movie or a show just the other day. So that is obviously in the lexicon.
It sure is, and if it's in the lexicon, it's in our house. So they just got here a few minutes ago, and they're doing Galentine's things. I guess I don't know. But it was your typical. There's Valentine's spread everywhere and food, and Tracy's been working. Although it was very relaxed today compared to some of the events that we have hosted here in the past. Yes.
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
Which means you're listening to the Lounge Show. Now that should be obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, so we weren't here 2 weeks ago. And now I have to find this, Bob, because 2 weeks ago I was all ready for
It's Groundhog Day.
It's still just once a year, isn't it?
I had them all set up. I had all the Groundhog Day stuff because that show would have been on the 1st, I think. Yes, the 1st. So the next day was Groundhog Day, and I was going to do the whole thing. I was all ready. And,
wow.
So did you turn pro with that belly button thing, Ned? Or
no, Phil, I sell insurance.
What a shock.
I was so prepared 2 weeks ago.
Whenever I hear that, like that drop has, because it's from the movie, whatever the sound of it is, it just immediately reminds me of the drops we used to use back in the lounge days when I was doing drops, like from Bill and Ted. It was like, this has been a most unusual day, you know.
You did have a lot of Bill and I forgot because I have no Bill and Ted. I would not have in my library of sound.
Yeah, no, I was big.
Yeah, you ran those.
Right, that was pre the second one, so it was, you know, still fresh, I think. Is that right? I don't know. Anyway, there were a lot of Bill and Ted drops, and I just like they played in my head and so often. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
And the Ned Ryerson drop reminds you of those days.
Yes. Well,
So did you turn
no.
pro with that belly button thing, Ned, or
No,
what?
Phil, I sell insurance.
What a shock!
Yeah. He's in a new movie, Bill Murray.
I know. I saw a little clip. I guess with Seth Meyers, maybe.
Well,
And he
well,
was
I think,
no. I mean, on his show, the talk show.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like he's got a Boston accent and right. What's his name?
He dies, and then he is kind of reincarnated through this dog.
Oh, then this is not the same film at
Yeah.
all.
So he in his will, he leaves a dog for this woman. She's his maybe niece. I don't know what neighbor. I don't know. It was a trailer I watched once, but it looked fuzzy and warm. It looked like one of those stories. And so and it's a big, beautiful Great Dane that looks like a Dalmatian. It's white and black spotted. I mean, this dog is monstrously big, and that's what he left her. And then she has to, when she does all these things with the dog, she thinks of him, and they have, you know, conversations in her head or whatever the case may be. It's just one of those. Bill Murray from the Great Beyond helps. I think it's Noemi Watts, I believe, the blonde lady.
Okay, but if it's, you know, you got to go to doesthedogdie.com because
I don't believe so. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know.
That would be a double whammy, right? Kill the guy and then kill the dog. He's helping. What?
I don't know that they kill him. I think that if I'm guessing, it probably starts at the funeral. You know, like the Big Chill.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Like you never really see. Well, maybe in cameos.
We're going
or
to
something.
see him all in flashback or
okay.
in memory or whatever. I don't know that we like a third of the way through the story, then he passes.
Your best friend, Bill Murray.
Yeah. I've been to robscott.gov. And you're or
I thought he said
.org.
org. Yeah, all right.
I
Let's
believe he
get
did
the
say
story
org.
straight. We're already. It's a good enough story that you don't need to embellish it.
I didn't do
with
that on purpose.
.gov.
There's a combination of just getting plain old older, and I'm still recovering from whatever I was infected with by the Klingons. I'm telling you, this thing kicked my.
I'm trying to roll my eyes all the way back, but I can't.
I can see that you're trying to do that.
So
But
ironically,
where's the irony?
was also expecting to cancel this week. Last week, I knew that this week probably wasn't going to happen because maybe you can tell by looking at me. Do you notice anything different about me?
New glasses.
You're in the right vicinity.
Okay. You got your eyebrows waxed.
That's right. That's right.
It's
And I've been
in
waiting
the
to surprise you with it. No. So I've been dealing with tooth problems for like literally years, and it came to a head last week, and it was like we have to, we've got to figure this out. So I went in, and it was a freaking disaster. I mean, it was such a mess, and they were recommending
death
by electrocution. And I was like, well, can I think about it?
Can I get a second opinion?
It's a good thing I did.
Your brother? Do you got a brother, a nephew, something? Can I ask somebody else here? And by the way, I don't know if my insurance covers that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't want to leave Tracy with some weird bill. Anyway, no.
You're at the dentist, and you're.
So the options were so among the disaster areas in there, because I had a couple of chipped teeth or whatever. It's like a crown, 2 crowns. No, I'm sorry. First, 2 root canals, then 3 crowns, and then there's some fillings to be done.
They really don't do any
of
fillings
course
anymore. They just recrown them. They just put a cap on old fillings. That's what they're doing with me. But I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes. Well, but
what you just bullet pointed there, that is some pricey stuff.
I opted because of that, among other reasons. I opted to just yank them out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they're back in the back, and and I just some of it's just not worth it to me to do all of that. So so anyway, I assumed, because then he said, well, I thought it was going to be one. We were going to do one to get, because I had one that was really, really hurting, and I was like, can we just get this one, and then I'll figure out what I want to do with the other ones. But by the time that the time the day came, my entire head, it was just bad. And
it was like Castaway.
Yes, I've seen clips, but yes, something like that.
Tom Hanks, he's on the island. He's got a bad tooth. I mean, who are you going to go see? He's there. It's really quite a scene, but please continue.
Yeah, so they had to. So he went in and said, we should really take the third too if we're going to do this, because there was another one that was a problem, but it wasn't as bad as the others, but it was definitely going to be. So it ended up to be 3, and one of them was like way in the back. So 3 extractions at once. Last time I had an extraction, which is since I've been here, it bled for freaking 4 days or whatever. It wouldn't stop. It was a terrible pain. I'm thinking, and it hurt all the time. And I'm thinking, and 3 of them? So I figure, there goes Valentine's Day. There goes, and I'm probably not going to be able to do the lounge because it's 3 in recovery, and I won't, whatever. And so they drug me up and all that stuff, and I'm in and out of it, but I'm hearing just the worst things. Like, they go in there with the drill, and it's just unbelievable, because they ended up having to break two of them into pieces to get them out of my head, and so
they didn't want to go. They've been with you a long time. There's a bond there.
We'll do better. We'll grow back. And they showed me all of this afterward. Anyway, point is, now we're bracing ourselves for a world of hurt because the only pain meds that they prescribed was ibuprofen.
Yeah.
600 milligrams. I mean, I can get 800 milligrams at the store.
Sure you can.
And
you can probably get 1,000 from that.
I could drink this bottle. It's 8 million milligrams. Anyway, so I'm kind of nervous about this. He says if you do that and alternate it with Tylenol, it's got this crazy synergistic effect, and even the people that we do synergistic, like they work well together.
See, and I wasn't giving you crap. I wasn't sure how you were using it. I just learned a word.
Yeah, no, the two somehow work together and provide this great pain relief. And he goes, even our full mouth implant patients use that protocol and have no problem. I'm like, okay, because last time I had one, I had Vicodin or whatever I had, and it still hurt. And you're talking about 3. So anyway, long story short, it happened Tuesday morning, 8 o'clock, all that stuff, I've had 0 pain since the procedure. 0.
Well, I will say that too, that they're much better at their craft, these dentists, than they were when we were like 30 years ago. Seriously, like
or
30
even
years.
5 or whatever. I'm telling you, the last time I had this done, it was a nightmare. This was only a few years ago.
Oh, I thought it was further back.
No, the last time I had a nightmare one was here since I've moved to Vegas.
Oh,
like the first couple of years I was here. No,
Same
totally
dentist?
different place. Totally different place.
See, you can't get your teeth worked on out of the back of a car.
And at the other time I had gas, laughing gas and nitrous and the whole thing. But this time, well, they did, they gave me I don't even remember what it's called, but something to get sleepy. And I thought, this is never going to be enough. I don't want to be awake. I want to be a million miles away. And for the most part, I was awake, but I couldn't tell. He said, it's mostly an amnesia thing. You're not going to remember the hell. And I was like, but I'm going to have to experience it the first time. But I don't remember. I mean, I remember like those horrible sounds and just like this is not, I knew this was not a normal extraction. Like something's going on in there. But I didn't care. And then I kind of remember coming home, and then I slept for like 5 hours or something, and woke up, and
did you bleed on the pillowcase?
Only the slightest bit. Like
that's great. This
was
a good story.
Everybody, we were all like, by the end of the last time, I had gauze in my mouth for days, and I was done by that night. Like it had stopped bleeding, and I was a little worried.
Means they're good at their craft,
and that I'm a superhero. Aren't you getting the point? I'm unbreakable, man.
But I didn't want to steal your thunder. I thought you could announce yourself as a superhero versus me.
All right. Well, I'm a super. Ta-da.
Yeah, well, I know now.
I'm
What are we
Tooth
going to
Man.
call you? Like Gum Boy or Tooth Man?
Man.
Tooth Man, sure.
Tooth Man, Gum Boy. Jesus. I was
And
going to
said
ask you to be
Gum.
Gum Boy.
Well, there's Gum B
I know.
and Pokey.
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations. That seems like it could have been much worse. And it's funny you said that about, well, we're just going to get rid of them. Because I've told you that story when my dad went into the service, when he went into World War II, and then he said, you know, you're just going through the thing. It's like cattle, and you get a shot, and you get this. And he says, and then you go into the dentist office, and he said, in the corner, just a big pile of they just yank him. And he says, so he goes, this is a true Ralph story too. He says he gets in there and they take the Novocaine needle and he goes, Robert, I swear it went right through my cheek. And when he squeezed the plunger, I could see the Novocaine going out on the floor of the office. And then they yanked his tooth and threw it in the corner. And it's like a Marathon Man story. It's like Dustin Hoffman, you know? So
That's
anyway,
horrible.
Yeah. Isn't it horrible? So my point is, look at the difference.
Don't you hate Perry's wife?
You're a hedge.
Yeah. See,
so
Tracy's
that's
still
the
with
story.
us, putting teeth
Nice
emojis up
job,
there.
Tracy. And well, Tracy's, you know, you really can't say it's a consumer of the product as much as a member of the staff.
True, but she's busy right now. She's down there doing stuff, I think, and yet she's taking the time to tooth us. I think that's amazing.
That is nice. What else did I have? Thank you. I had something. Oh, I remember we didn't talk about there. I'm writing these things down over the past couple of weeks. You sent me did you watch any of the Super Bowl ads?
No.
Okay, because you had sent me the Harry Sally,
Yeah.
30 years later, and then that was one of the big time Super Bowl ads. That cost them $8 million for 30 seconds. That's what the Super Bowl ads were. So, and I did some math on this, Bob. So there were 46, I think, available units, 60-second units. 46 minutes were available during the Super Bowl. 46 minutes. Now at 8 million a 30, that's 16 million times 46, and I did that math, and I don't know what astronomical number that was. But then I decided to think, okay, how about what's 4% of that, which would be your average commission? Because I'm thinking
You mean
the guy
for the salesperson selling the ad? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I'm thinking to myself, the guy who sells Super Bowl ads, that's what he does. That's all he do.
That's right.
Because the commission was like 22 million, or something like some ridiculous number to be split among however many people sold ads for the Super Bowl. And I thought, holy crap. Like, let's say you make 5, 6, 7 of that 22.
Do you figure it comes down to one person?
Well, no.
Like just Don
it's
Draper's
probably
up there and he gets
I think like anything else in life, Bob, there's a person at the top who makes most of it. Let's put it that way. Yes, there's probably a staff of 10, 15 per spot, and they created and wrote and did everything. But there's one guy or lady who kind of was whatever, and they make
they get the biggest house.
They get the bulk of, yes. But I doubt it's like Don Draper, but wouldn't it be cool if it was?
Oh, hold on a second. We got to
nicely done.
We got to hit. Well, it timed out on me here, but yeah, look at that. Although there's not, you can't
just
see.
Recently.
There's no real movement. No one's out and about. There's no. You can't really.
I
see
saw.
any
You can't see my mouse on here, can you? No, I'm just looking at your screen. But
that would be weird.
The sidewalk on the left-hand side there, I saw folks walking up and down it today. And if you look behind the Riviera building, you can on the left-hand side of your screen, boys and girls, you can see that water has not frozen. But right after it, that you can see the snow has covered the ice, and if you look to the right, you can see all the little shanties that are out there. It's grumpy old men, man. Those are the ice shanties. They're doing their ice fishing out there. So.
Look at that! My God, we just a slice of a freaking Americana.
Well, that's what I do.
I just wanted to just switch it up a second, and we got shanties.
Yeah, we have shanties. And then didn't I send you a link last week probably like 4 weeks ago now, but it's the Eau Claire footbridge too. I think I sent you. So one of these days
I couldn't find. I was looking for that link and I couldn't find it. Maybe it was longer back than I remember, but that's the one I wanted to use. But this was so pretty with all the snow. I figured.
Well, this is a real good one, and it's recent snow. Now I'm looking for something here. I had a picture I wanted to show you, and it probably won't translate as well. You know how I am, because I have that vertical monitor. Uh oh. Did I do something wrong?
Oh my
No,
God! You broke the whole show.
No, but I don't
Sorry,
think I
ladies.
can share my screen.
Why?
I don't think it's not letting me share my screen. Okay. Well, I can't show you the picture.
I wonder if that has anything to do with whatever these weird issues are. I just don't know. I want a whole new system for connecting.
Well, you know what's interesting too is Jazz Kazam keeps sending me update emails,
Me
and I
too.
just throw them into a folder because I said one day Bob and I are
Yeah,
going to
one
do this.
day. Any second now.
So here's something I read because I was going to show you. I've got a picture. I was going to show you a picture of the knife that Steven got me in Okinawa.
Okay.
But I obviously can't share the picture. But it is. Bob,
But where's the knife?
It's in my kitchen right now. But I have a picture of it. I was going to show
Why
you.
don't you just bring it for show and tell?
Well, I was thinking of doing that, but I thought a picture is easier.
I would. Is it?
Well, not now.
Okay then.
But next week I'll bring it. The point is, it's really cool. That's all I'm saying. Well, yes, he did. He never got out of the cock-a-doodle car. Oh, you never probably saw that movie, Misery, with James Caan and.
No. Not my tone, you know.
Yeah, but Rob Reiner directed it. Interested. We talked about Harry Sally here. He was the director of that film, but that was not a happy chuckle along kiddies story.
No. I gather not.
Right. The other thing
Lest
I had
ye
written
not
here
be
that I'm
gathered. What?
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 Huh? What are you doing? What are you doing? Were you quoting the Bard?
I can't talk about
All right,
it.
I read this on the New York Times about 2 weeks ago. Name something you miss, Bob, but if offered, you don't actually want it back. Name something you miss, but if offered, you don't actually want it back. I thought that was interesting. I thought I would pose that to my deep thinking friend Bob.
Wow. I do. I have several layers of answers.
Several layers.
That's
Boys
a
and
good
girls,
that's really
isn't that good?
Yeah, that gets you going in several areas. And like one of them is like here's what comes up. Like I won't mention specifics, like, but a pet. You know, like okay. Especially because you know how I get tore up about that. And you know, at that time, if they pass, that's all you want is for them to come back. But then once you get back, then the thought of losing them again is like, no, I did the healing. So like I missed the dogs, but I don't know that I need them back because I don't want to go through that again. Now that's a dark answer. I'm sure there's something like water skiing.
Hey, wow. You got kind of excited. Like water skiing.
Well, I mean, because that's an answer. That's an answer. I can, it's like, I kind of miss doing that, but I don't need to. If someone invited me to do it, I'd probably say, nah.
You know, you spoke of pets. I'll see if this will work. I don't know if this is going to work.
I can see I can see a picture of a dog. Yes, that's a pretty dog. Who's that?
Yes, that may be Steven's new puppy.
Oh, it looks like that's going to get grande.
It's a golden retriever, yeah, but it's white. So that's really
pretty.
Cool.
Yeah,
it is a pretty cute. She is cute, and he will name her if he gets her Kona.
Okay, so Conan without an N at the end.
Well, actually, I don't think he.
You're
went
getting
there
brighter and brighter and brighter. Like you're just blowing out.
Well,
there it goes. There it goes. It readjusted. It was just.
It was the phone. I fooled.
Yes, that's what it was. It was Kona.
Yeah.
Not
Kona.
Cujo.
Yeah, so he didn't say Conan with an N. He said, "Dad, it's my favorite beer." So and he goes, and I always wanted to name a dog Kona. And I said, well, it'll be good on a tag too because it's only 4 letters. You know, it's not like Mr. Bascom or a name like that or something.
Or Superman, which is what I really wanted to name.
I keep forgetting that.
Before he stops naming pets in his life, I really want him to get a dog named Superman.
You know, he'll probably end up doing that with a couple of turtles or something. He'll just have a couple of turtles.
It was because it was a great name for a dog.
Well, it is. Yeah, there's another one of those.
Yeah,
Morgan
reference
and Morgan
that goes.
and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan.
Oh my God! I
Roasted
Morgan and Morgan the other day. It came. I don't remember why, but
Did you laugh?
I giggle every time. I mean, I just said all I did was reference it because Tracy said something that was like a something and a something, and then I had to just go into Morgan and Morgan and Morgan. Yeah.
So at Christmas time, I had this. This is a bad story. I'm not even going to tell it. It's a dumb story. I was just trying to think of things that have happened in the last couple of weeks, and all I can think about is things that have happened in the last couple of days because, like I said, I've been sick. Oh, man, just being sick sucks. I know no one likes being sick. Although I did. Okay. So, and I said this to a couple of people at work. I said one of the upsides, though, for me is when you're sick, now not violently sick where you're in massive pain, but where you're in just that fuzzy, foggy, I'm sick. I said, at least it's a different feeling. I really embraced that. I go, if you got to be this way, then okay, you're spacey and you're drinking cough syrup and all this crap.
Yeah.
And you kind of are floating through the world. You're really not, you're not tactily there, you know, you're just in this. And so I thought, well, this is interesting. I remember thinking that in college. I remember the first time I was sick in college. I woke up in the dorms and I was really sick, and it dawned on me no one gave a shit.
Right. You're not going to get any maternal sympathy. There's nobody who's going to go take care of you to do anything, offer you a damn thing.
Not a damn. Kirkla's across the room and he goes, "Don't get me sick, you guys."
There you go. Right. Don't get me sick.
That's what you get. And then I thought, oh, wow.
And he's paused again.
And so I drank. Well,
yeah, you this is your second max headroom.
That was the first. I thought it was the first one.
No, there was one earlier when you were telling a story.
Anyway, I forget where I was, but the point is, I know what I said. I drank because I figured if you're not going to do anything productive anyway, you might as well take away some of the discomfort and just have a few beers. That was probably the first red flag I should have noticed in my drinking career.
I think you need to go back and tell the whole story from the beginning, because the story is you just started drinking again. So that's what we heard. This is big news.
Sorry.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I think it may have been me who blacked out, but I did miss the setup too.
Here's the thing: I got the chuckle out of you where I wanted to, which was nobody gave a shit. You know, that's the time in life where you go, no one's there. No, do you want noodles? I'll bring in the TV. You know, and you don't have to go to school, and you can play with toys in your room.
Where did you play with toys? You weren't allowed to play with toys in your room unless you were sick?
No, but I mean, to think I wasn't in school. I'm not in school. I'm playing with toys in my room. It was kind of, and there's a TV in here.
Right. Yeah. I loved it when the TV got permanent in my room. The smallest TV in the house, but then, in the mornings I could watch Dragnet and Tennessee Tuxedo and all those things.
Tennessee Tuxedo was a good show.
That whole little collection of things was...
Wasn't that the one with Aesop's Fairy Tales too?
I think so. I think that was
Funny Company. Wasn't the Funny Company part of Tennessee? We're the Funny Company, and it's just for fun, you see. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. No,
I think if I saw it, I might ring a bell, but it's not immediately.
Well, anyway, Tennessee was great, and who? Oh, Don Knotts. Oh no, I'm sorry, no, Don Adams.
Yeah.
Don Adams played Tennessee. I don't know who played Chumley. Well, gee, Tennessee. I don't know who did that voice. Or Mr. Whoopi.
Oh, my God. I couldn't have come up with Mr. Whoopi at all.
Yeah, because he had the 3DBB. The three-dimensional blackboard, which then he would go, and then he would explain.
Oh, my God. You remember way more than I do.
This is where I got my education, Bob. I certainly didn't get it in college. I learned things from Mr. Whoopi.
Yeah.
And
it was like preschool school.
Yeah, they were teaching you stuff.
I was eating a ham and cheese sandwich that my mom heated up in the oven for my breakfast in the mornings. Or I was eating chicken and a biscuit crackers out of a box.
I remember that. I can picture that logo.
Yeah, me too.
I can picture that logo. The other day, so the three of us, I say the three of us because we're referred to as Randy and the Robs. There's Randy Cook and Rob Stadler and myself. We're the only ones over 60 years old in the shop. But they always come to us because we're writing for the demo from the blah, blah, blah. And so when I can get the two of them at the
over
same
180
place,
years of experience. Sorry.
Yes. No, that's true. And so Rob was telling Randy something about it, and I'll send you the link. And I said, when you do, make sure you go solid. And Randy looked at me and goes, the only three who know what you're talking about. I did a Mod Squad reference there.
I would
remember
remember
that
that one. No, that I didn't. I never watched Mod Squad. That was kind of like just before when, and that wasn't the kind of TV I watched anyway. I didn't really watch dramatic anything that was not like
That's
fun.
a cop. It was a cop show.
Yeah.
Did you watch Cannon or Barney Jones?
No, none
or
of those
Columbus?
things. Nope. I watched Perry Mason for a while.
Okay.
But I didn't like anything like any of those. Any of those. Chips later.
No, Chip sucked.
But what else
Baywatch.
was there? Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah, book 'em, Dano. Although I always remember
anything.
Oak saying, "Why does Ho Chin is played by Zing Wow or whatever?" I mean, Oak used to say, "Do we care? We don't even."
And with those words, Rob Stark and Bob Doyle brought the Lounge Show to another inauspicious close. Join us next week, won't you? 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, for another edition of the Lounge Show.